Did you ever wonder why Apple manufactures its devices in China? Perhaps the answer you touched on is the cheap labor there, but I want to tell you that is not the main reason. There are even more important reasons than this forcing Apple to manufacture its devices in China. Today we will learn about the reasons why Apple manufactures its devices in China, the impact of the trade war on Apple, and the reason why Apple is forced to manufacture in China. I'm Chakid Chavin. Welcome to a new episode of Money Talks. First, it must be clarified that the idea that labor in China is cheap is not true. If we look at the average monthly wage in China in 2009, we will find that it is around $390 a month. But in 2022, this number rose to $1,330. This proves that wages in China are higher than wages in competing countries such as the Philippines and Vietnam. So cheap labor is not the reason why Apple is operating in China. We also hear that if Apple products were manufactured in the United States, the prices of the products would rise, but this idea is also not correct. However, Apple is not able to manufacture in the United States. In order to manufacture its devices, Apple needs manufacturing supplies and a very large number of workers. It is impossible to have the number of workers in the United States. But the biggest problem is in manufacturing supplies and materials. The idea is simply that the components of the devices are manufactured from rare materials, but at the same time, these materials are found in abundance in China. In 2018, China's manufacturing of rare materials amounted to 120,000 tons, with the reserve estimated at 44 million tons. But when we look at a map of the world, we find that China is not alone in the abundance of reserves of these materials. We find, for example, Brazil and the Philippines with reserves estimated at 22 million tons, and Russia with 12 million tons. But it is not enough to have land that contains these elements. Rather, the ability, technology, and equipment must be available to reach the final state of these materials. And China owns this tool and has been working since 1900 on this factor. We can say that the solution here is to take advantage of the reserves in other countries and finance the construction of specialized factories to exploit these materials. But it is not so simple. Refining these materials results radiations and environmental pollutions, so society itself will not agree with this idea. But China has been dealing with this issue for more than 100 years, and it has become a normal thing. And because these metals are used in the manufacture of many devices such as phones, computers, electric cars, and medical equipment, China knew the value of this rare commodity it owned, and she knew that she would use this card in the trade war with America. Now let's assume for the sake of argument that the trade war between America and China has gotten worse. How will Apple behave? In recent years, all Apple products have witnessed significant increases, and this is due to dual tariff increases. Therefore, Apple must look for a different place to assemble its products. So where is this place, and why? And what are the losses that Apple will incur if it leaves China? If Apple wanted to change the location of its manufacture, it could think of India. But the Indian government imposes taxes of 20%, which is a huge blow to any company. And the idea of India is Apple's first choice, but of course, there are other options such as Brazil and Vietnam, and no matter which country they choose, the transfer process, which will require at least 2 years to transfer only 20% of the production, must be taken into account. Therefore, the process requires a lot of time in addition to monetary losses as well. In the end, according to your opinion, where do you expect Apple to move its factories? Answer us in the comments, and if you like the content, wait for us in the next episode. And don't forget to support us with a like.